Hi, and welcome to Examinx. We are working on our 11 by 11 Kilominx, and in this session, we are going to be working on what I call the upper middle two and the lower middle two. So we finished last time by building the threes, and now we're going to be working on placing these two and these two. And remember, we saved the very bottom and the very top for our last step. So let's get going here. So, I don't know, let's see if we can find some yellow and white. That's the top one or bottom one. So we're looking for the middle two upper or the middle two lower. And here's one right here. Where is my gray side? Sorry, it's taking me a second to get going here. All right, so this one's going to get moved over here. So I would like a gray and blue one up here. I tightened my cube down some, and I think I might have gotten it too tight. All right. Now, I'm going to push them all over on the top when I'm only moving one. But if I'm moving two, then, or depending on what I've got up here, will determine how many I'm going to move over. So we'll just have to take that as it pops up. All right, now let's go see if we can find a blue and purple one. And again, there's still a lot of hunting that we have to do to find these, but it's not as bad as the first middle ones. And then as we build these middle upper two and these lower middle two, it will get easier, especially for the last ones. All right, so gray and green needs to go up top. Here's a gray and green one. Let's see if this is the right one. Hi, Pie. Okay, well, I've got it on the wrong side. Where are the ones I was trying to do that with? Will that work? And it's on the wrong side. Okay. hoping for some more. Okay, so that's the one I need right there, no doubt. All right, so we're just gonna replace it with something different. Or maybe not. I don't even have that one lined up correctly. Oh my goodness. All right, let's try this one again. Okay, so now blue's gonna go over there. That's good. Now I gotta find that gray and green one and move it. Here it is down here. All right, that goes over there. That now is in the right spot. All right, let's see if this works. All right, that worked out actually quite nicely. Now, where was that other gray and green one that we had? We moved it up out of the way. It was attached to something we were working on. I thought it was anyway, maybe not. Okay, so we can move that one down there. If I turn one of these sides. All right, so I'm gonna flip this side this time. Now I want a red and white one up here, right there. All right, here's a red and white one. Let's see if it's the right red and white one. Nope, because it's got to be on that side. So we need the other red and white one. And here it is right here. Nope, that's not it. That's too far over. I need the other one. Never mind. I will need those sooner or later, though. That's the one I need. Nope, that's not it either. I need it closest to the center. And, okay, which one was I moving? See, this is my other problem. I get over here and then I can't remember which one I was moving. All right, I'm moving that one over there. That one's not right. Okay, so Let me keep my hand right there so I know that's where I'm going. And let's look at this again. No, you know what? I think that is the right one. All right. That goes over there. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to end up getting 2 out of this one, which is actually quite nice. All right. Let's go see if we can find a green and orange one, since this one's over here. There's a green and orange, but I want the one actually closest to it. Here's one over here. All right, so that one's gonna go over there. So, oh, look at right there. Hey, that worked out really swell. All right, let's go see if we can find a pink and red one. Now, I'm sure this is not the most time-effective way of doing this. I'm sure there's many other ways of doing this a lot faster, but this is the way that I do it because it helps me stay organized. And you can already tell I'm disorganized as it is with some of these things sometimes, and that I struggle with them. So imagine if it was even more chaotic than this. All right, so actually I'm going to get 2 to come over there. So I need cream and blue up top. And I would like the one closest to the middle. That's the one I would like first. There's cream and green. I think that's it right there. And then there's another one right there. All right, so if it's not one, maybe we can figure out what the other one is. Where am I moving these things to? Okay, so let me get this right over here. Okay, so cream and blue needs to come over here on the, now I've probably lost it, orange face. This one's probably not the right side. Nope, not the right side. Okay, so where was that other one at? It was right next to it somewhere. Here it is right here. All right, we're gonna get that up to the orange side. So these two are gonna go over there. That one's on the opposite side and it matches, so we're good to go. All right, now let's go see if we can find an orange and gray for this side. Now there's one right there, but it's flipped wrong. And I really want to build the closest ones first. I mean, I could flip that around and do that one, but for my brain, it helps if I literally build them going out one at a time. I know it takes longer, but orange and gray, orange and gray. Where is my orange and gray? Here's one right here. All right, so that one's gonna go over there. Is that the one that I need for up there? I don't think it is. I don't know. Actually, I think that is the one I need. But let's just go find the other one just to make sure. See if we can find the Christmas colored one. Yep, okay, so that is the one that I need. Okay, well, you know what? We'll just replace it with that one and then we'll flip them. How does that plan sound? Well, that was brilliant. I didn't even have it set up right. Hello? Okay, so this one's gonna come down here. So that means I've gotta rotate this one. Rotate that one. Flip this whole cube. And now, where is that green and red one at? That I just said wouldn't work, because now it might work. I think this is it over here. Nope, still on the wrong side. Okay, well, where was... All right, so we're just gonna flip it in backwards this time. And then on my next one, I will fix it. At least I can kind of keep track of where it's at. Okay, so we knew that one was going to go in backwards, and we're going to want this one to replace this one. So let's flip it around and bring it back down. So that's going to go over there. And then didn't I have another orange and gray one around over here somewhere that maybe I can still replace it with. Okay, so that's going to go over there. That's going to replace that over there. All right, this might work out quite nicely, actually. I guess I need to put it up there first. All right, so now there's that piece. So let's bring this one back around over here, bring that one down. So that's going to go over here. So I need a pink and cream up here. Wrong one. Wrong one. Close. Maybe this one's it. Okay, nope, not even close. Was that even the one I was looking at? Maybe it was this one. That one's not it. That one's not, well, I've got just about every pink and cream one up here, but the one I actually need. Maybe that one's, no, have I already done that one? I think this one's it. That one goes over there, and it's the right color. That pink matches that pink, and it's on the opposite side. All right, I think this is going to be good. Very, very nice. All right. Let's go see if we can find a cream and green one. Oh, pirate. All right, there's one. I don't know if that's... If I bring that around, it's not going to be the right way. All right, so let's flip this way and see what happens. All right, that goes over there, so that's lined up. Orange and blue. All right, here's one. Question is that the right one. And it is. Wow. All right. All righty. I've got to take a little break and we'll come back to it. All right, so we're looking for the blue white. All right, here's one. Wrong way. So if that's going to come down here, this has got to be rotated over. And we got to flip the cube. All right. Now I need a gray and pink up top. There's a gray and pink. I don't know if that's going to be the right one. Nope. I'm going to need the other side. Is this it right here? That goes over there. That's, yeah, I think that's gonna get it. Very nice. All right, now if we bring this one down, means that this one's got to go move. And then we flip it. Okay, so gray to gray, so I need a green orange up top. Not in the right spot. This one might work. That goes over there. That's the same color on the opposite side. Yep, that's gonna do it for us. All right, let's go see if we can find a green yellow one. There's green yellow, but it's got to be next to the triple. That one works, but it goes down here on this side. So let's flip it around this way. All right, so now we need a green pink up top. Why am I having such a hard time finding this one? All right, maybe this is it right here. Wrong side. Of course it is. Wrong place. All right, I think this one here might be it. That's gonna move over there, green to green, pink to pink. All right. Finally. All right, now where was that other green pink one? We might as well put that one in while we're right here. And it is right there. So we need a green and cream up top. All right, that might be it. Maybe. Who knows? Yep. go find a yellow and purple one. There's one. Okay, so yellow's going to go over there, so I need a green and white up top. Here's a green and white one. Not the right one. Oh, was this the one I was trying to do? Maybe this was the one I was trying to do. Yeah, that one was it. All right. All right, here's a purple and orange, and here's a purple and orange. So let's do that one. Now I need blue and orange up top. That goes over there. That matches. All right. All right, cream and red. So I need it to push that one out. And it has to be next to a triple. There it is right here. All right. So it's going to go over and push that one out. So I need a white and purple one up top. And white purple has to be next to the triple. And there it is right there. All right, so we're just going to have to take one. Which means that when we move this one over, we can't have anything solved over here. So we may have to adjust what we're going to replace it with. Because we don't want to break anything up. And let me just remind you what I'm talking about. When we move this over, These two are going to split when we flip it and fix it. And that's okay because this is not fixed. All right, let's bring this one back over here now and bring this one down. So that's going to come over here. So purple and yellow up on top. There's one. That's the one I need right there. Yellow and yellow. That moves up. My cat's is having fun. I don't know if you can hear him trashing everything. I don't know what Sissy's playing in, but she's playing with something and having a good time doing it. All right. Let's go see if we can find the cream and pink one. And it's got to be next to the triple. Looks like it's right here. So we'll move this out of the way while we bring this one up. I don't know what she's doing, but she's having a good time doing it. All right, green and purple up top. And it too has to be next to a triple. We are slowly but surely getting there. All right, next one up that we want to find is the yellow and white one. It looks like it's right here. So that one's going to go over there. That one is the one I need to go back over there. So I'm going to need to put it in a placeholder. So I need something that's not fixed, that's next to the triple. Let's see if this one will work. Nope, wrong side. But I can flip it. There we go. And before I move it back, we're just going to check it. Yep, those two are going to separate, and that's perfectly okay. All right, next one, we're just going to move this purple one over here. So we want the blue and purple up top. I think this is the one we need. Yep. All right, let's go see if we can find the purple and orange. All right, there it is. So that one's gonna go over there. We need that one. And I don't think that's the right one. So we need another red and blue one next to a triple. I think this is it back here. Blue and blue, that's gonna go over there. Right on. Very nice. Okay, because we've got the red and the blue one, we're gonna flip this one. So we can just put it in there. And what we want is a cream and blue up top next to a triple. Here is one right here. Okay, now I'm gonna go and move because I feel like I'm getting close, but I don't know. Last time I waited too long, so maybe I'm being a little paranoid. I'm gonna go find all the pieces where we don't have 5 middle ones complete.
There you go.
So like here, where I still only have a triple, and some of them might have 4. Like this one only has 4. That one only has 4. That one's got the 5. Let's just see what we've got here. has 4. That one's got 3. That one's only got 4. Okay, we still have, I think, plenty of them. That one's only got 4, 4, 4, because I'm not counting this one. I'm looking at this one right here on the other side. Okay, so we still got plenty. All right, so no need to panic yet, because remember, even with these, I still want 3 to finish these middle ones out. All righty, so we need a green and a white one. That's gonna do it? Yeah, all right. All right, now we need the green and blue. That might be it right there. All right, so that one's gonna go over there. So I want the blue and white. Oh, I think that's it right there. All right, even better. All right, so that one's done and that one's done. We still gotta do the pink and red. All right, pink and red. And blue and pink for up top. I think that's it right there. All right, yellow, green. That's not what I was looking for, but it's just still got a triple, so. When I rotate this cube around, okay, there's another one. Looks like I'm getting closer to getting done. Okay. Where was the yellow? Green went out over here. so that one will go over there. Now I need the gray and cream. We have got to be getting close here. Not in the right spot. Where did I just see that at? That's the one I need right there. Okay, well, I'm just gonna move one of these. But I don't want to break that one up. So I think I'm gonna flip this one around. Or, no, I can use this one, I think. And let's check it. Yep, it's gonna be okay. All right. Yellow, blue. Okay, and then I'm gonna need the green, blue up top. Okay, here it is, way back here. And of course, that's not the right one. All right, maybe it's this one. Right, I mean, if it's not the other one, it's gotta be that one. All right, let's go see if we can find the purple and green one. That'll be the last one for that one. Here it is right here. Okay, so now I need the cream and gray up top. That's the one I need. That's for right there. Oh. I've got to go fix this. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to fix this one first. So where is the blue and gray? All right, so we're going to fix this one. Okay, now I can bring up that purple one. Where's the other purple and green? What did I do with it? All right, now where is the cream and gray? Probably down here somewhere on the opposite side. I just had it. I don't think it could have gone that far. All right, so the cream and gray is done. So how many do we have left? Well, we know we've got a red and white that needs to be done. We know that we've got a purple, I'm sorry, blue and green. Hopefully those aren't the last two. And this one, all right, let's move this one up here. Let's go find this red side, because we know we need the red side. That one's done. Okay, so that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. Ooh, I think these might be our last three. Well, alrighty then. So let's rotate this one. And see what we got. So this will go over here. So this has to be flipped because it's not the right color. All right, we can do that. That one goes there, that one will go there, and that is the opposite color. All right, I think this is going to do it. All right, so we are done with the next level of the middles. So now all we've got to do is the upper part of the upper and lower middles. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. I hope that you have a wonderful day and happy cubing.